Hey, it's your girl, Miss Shanika, and welcome to the premiere episode of Uncensored, the Actor Show. And here with me today is the executive producer of Uncensored, Mr. Jay Allen. How are you today?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Jay, welcome. But Jay, wow, Tisha Campbell's story really blew me away.
Listen, we've been chasing Tisha, what people don't know, for like the first 2 years of the show to try to get her on. So we were just excited to finally get her and to be able to tell the story of this legend, you know?
Yes, she overcame so much at a young age. Like literally, I'm trying to find the words to express after I guess I'm just in shock.
No, absolutely. Like she has a few stories that even on set, just hearing the stories, I mean, they were just bombshells for us, you know? And it's just like, you really don't know what a person has been through until you hear from their own mouth.
So on this one day after the babysitter had been there and took care of my kids, did a great job, she told me the next day that he had touched her.
So Tisha Campbell shared that she was actually raped at 3 years old. How was that, hearing it from her mouth?
He left the room for a second, and I was so scared. I was shaking. And I remember him bringing back Crisco. I can't smell Crisco to this day. It makes me sick to my stomach, the shortening. And I remember him using it on himself. I remember the smell of it. I can't stand it. And
When she dropped that bombshell, it was just a tough story for us to even hear, and even tough to watch her relive it.
so I grew up thinking nothing bad happens to bad people. So it's best just to keep your mouth shut. Even though people call me an empath. And I believe in the good of man first. Can we stop?
It took a lot out of her to relive that.
She talked about the relationship between her and Martin. For years, we know that they've been estranged and they reconnected.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was great to have the cast of Martin reconnect and really showing part of that reunion on our show by having each of them participate. And I think it's a special moment, especially for Martin. You know, he's an icon, and you know they created one of the classic shows of all time. So a really special moment for us was having him on the show and having him speak on how she was really his Lucille Ball to him being Desi.
That was really dope.
Super dope.
She was my Lucille Ball. You know, if I was Desi, she was my Lucille Ball.
One moment I kept waiting on that I didn't see was the fact that her and her husband, Dwayne Martin, of 23 years, are divorcing.
Yeah, and you know, and for us, when we look at a show like Uncensored, you know, we do want to focus on that particular person's journey. And, you know, there's always salacious tidbits and salacious angles we can take. We also want to focus on the positivity and the things in their journey that, you know, that people care about the most as well. And, you know, of course, that's a headline for now that people are super excited about or super concerned about.
Right.
But in the grand scheme of things, we want you to be able to watch this episode 2, 5, 10 years from now and then not have, you know, a blip on somebody's radar that might not be bad. You know,
Right.
To me, that this episode encompasses Tisha's amazing life and amazing career and, you know, some of the ups and downs that she experienced without having to, you know, drag through your dirty clothes and dirty closet.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
But we still want to know what the hell going on.
Listen, I get it.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I definitely get it. But, you know, if you want to see that, that's all, you know, some of that stuff is in headlines and you can read and deal with that. But we try to focus our attention on the story and on the journey. So
Okay.
That's why we got what we got there.
Keep it safe.
Keep it safe. Keep it safe.
Before we go, we want to give you the first look at next week's episode of Uncensored on TV One.
I think my tears came from being told Your butt's too big, your boobs are too big, your thighs are too thick. Kiss my fat.
Tyra Banks on an all-new Uncensored next Sunday at 9 on TV One.
Looks like it's going to be a great episode once again.
Yes, and look, made it to our first episode.
That's right. And you can check us out right here on Uncensored, the Actor Show.